Yes, good afternoon, our learners. I hopefully believe that you're still trying to keep safe at home. And I also believe that God has taken good care of you. On our end, we are also trying to reach you through Zoom, through other video clips, to ensure that at least you engage, as we all know that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So we want you to be busy and befriend the books, for we also know that success does not come on a silver platter. Thank you. Now, we are going to have an English lesson, and without much ado, I want to let you know that we're going to deal with prepositions. Prepositions are words that try to explain to us the relationship between an object and its position. I believe this is something you started in grade 4, coming all the way to class 7. So I'm very sure, like the back of my hand, that this is not something new to us. But I'll be dealing with commonly tested areas in prepositions. Number 1, agree with a person. Agree to a proposal, an idea, an opinion, or a suggestion. Did you get that? We agree with a person. We agree to an idea, an opinion, a proposal, or a suggestion. I move on to number 2. Angry with a person. When someone is vexed with you, when someone is annoyed, they'll say, I'm very angry with you. Angry with a person. Then angry at a thing. I'm very angry at what this table did to my clothes. Are you getting that? Angry with a person, angry at something, right? I hope you're following very closely. I move on to number 3. Number 3, we have disappointed with a person, disappointed in something. I'm very much disappointed with you. I find it hard to believe that you could have done something like that, right? Disappointed with a person. Then disappointed in something. Maybe you expected something to happen, but the contrary happened. You get that? So I'm very much disappointed in this. I'm very much disappointed in that matter, right? We move on to the next one. Deal with a person, deal with a situation, deal in an area of work. Deal with a person, deal with a situation, deal in an area of work. You may come to my office and then you tell me, Mr. Jacob, so-and-so has done this to me. I'll just tell you, just cool your nerves. I'm going to deal with that situation. I'm going to deal with that person. You get? So dealing with a person, dealing with a situation. But when it comes to an area of work, we say deal in. My uncle deals in motor spares. My aunt deals in second-hand clothes. My mother deals in textile. Did you get that? Deal in an area of work. I move on now to give examples in sentence form from what we have discussed so far. So the first one is, I agree with you. That is right. Number 2, I agree to his idea. I agree to her opinion. I agree to their proposal. I agree to their suggestion. You understand that? Number 3, he is angry with me. I don't know what I did to him, but I'm profoundly apologetic. She is very angry with me. The next one is, I'm very angry at what you did. Very angry at what you did. Did you get that? My father deals in motor spares. My aunt deals in second-hand clothes. My uncle deals in textiles. You get that? Number 6, his mother was disappointed with him. disappointed with him. Maybe the mother had very high expectations that this person would scoop good marks to take them to secondary school. Unfortunately, or sad to say, the contrary happened. So what happened to the mother? The mother was disappointed with him. You get that? I move on to the next one. I was disappointed in this matter. Disappointed in this matter. Now, the context of that sentence is not the person, but a thing. You understand? I move on now to more examples of prepositions. We have abide by the rules. We have class rules, we have traffic rules, we have school rules and regulations, etc., etc. Did you know that rules are not broken? Rules are flouted. So when we talk of rules, then we say that rules are flouted, but laws are broken. We are supposed to say, kindly abide by the rules. Kindly abide by the rules. When one makes noise in class, you tell them it is one of the class rules that we should not make noise, either in the presence or the absence of the teacher. Therefore, I urge you kindly to abide by the rules. You understand that, Lance? Then the next one is refrain from. Refrain from. Stop doing something. Refrain from that. If your classmate comes to school late, you tell them, refrain from coming to class late because you're going to miss a lot during the morning lessons. Understood? Very good. I move on now to the next one, travel by. We travel by bus, by matatu, by air, by sea, by train, etc., etc. I give an example. Lodwar is a very long way from here. I can get there by air. She came to school by bus. My uncle went to the city by matatu. You understand? My brother came to school on foot. So it should be on foot, by matatu, by air, by sea, by rail, by railway, etc., etc. However, now listen to Mr. Jacob Kinley. When the article are is introduced after the preposition, we cannot use by. That is a grammatical aspect that you're supposed to understand. Let me give an example. Michael came to school dash a bus. In that aspect, the article are is coming after the preposition. Therefore, we don't go with the word by. We say he came to school on a bus. He came to school on a shuttle. He came to school on a matatu. Are you getting that? But then when the word is van or ambulance, we say he came in a van. He was taken to the hospital, God forbid, in an ambulance. Am I clear, my learners? Yes, I want to believe you are getting that. I move on to the next one. The report was written in ink. I can use my pen to write. So you say the teacher wrote with a pen. The teacher wrote with a piece of chalk. But now when it comes to ink, it should be in ink. The report was written in ink. Am I clear? I move on to the next one. Seated in the shade under a tree. Not under the shade. Can my learners repeat that? Not under the shade, but in the shade under a tree. You cannot be under the shade, right? Should be in the shade under a tree. Can my learners repeat that? In the shade under a tree. Very good. The next one is the teacher is seated at his desk, not on his desk. In this aspect, we are talking about the position of the teacher. He should be seated at his desk, at a table, at the dining table. This is about position, right? So you need to understand this very well. I move on to the prepositions of movement, that is into. On seeing the stranger, I did not know what to do. My only option was to dive into the swimming pool. So I dive into the swimming pool. Because of the great storm, the boat plunged into the sea. Plunged. P-L-U-N-G-E-D. The boat plunged into the sea. That is to say, the boat capsized, or rather, the boat went under the sea. Am I communicating? I move on now to the preposition from. There are various ways in which this can be used. One, suffering from. What are you suffering from? I'm suffering from malaria. I'm suffering from this and this malady or disease for that matter. Suffering from, abstain from, refrain from, different from. Now, my uniform is different from yours. Understood? Yes, that is how we use that. I move on now to on. The preposition on. The milk is on the table. The books are on the table. The cup is on the table. Are you getting that? My grandmother is working on her farm. We were congratulated on good results, not for good results. Am I communicating? I move to the difference between in and at as a preposition. Listen very carefully because this is very common. Now, in is used in general aspect, and especially when you're talking about a bigger and a wider spectrum. For example, where do you live? I live in Setrite. Sorry, I live at Setrite in Nairobi, in Kenya, in Africa. Are you getting that? I live at Setrite. Setrite is a small place within Nairobi. I live at Setrite in Nairobi, in Kenya, in Africa. You get that? Now, so when we're talking about a small portion, we should use at. And then when we're talking about a bigger portion or spectrum, we should use in. Let me give another example. Now, I live at Kiganjo in THIKA sub-county, Kiambu County in Kenya. So ideally what I'm trying to say, the preposition in is used for towns, cities, countries, continents, etc., etc. But at is used for a smaller portion, right? Let me bring on board other aspects where the preposition at is used. We use at when we are referring to time. I reached home at noon. I reached home at 7 p.m. She came at 8. So in this aspect, we are trying to bring about the aspect of time. Remember, in my previous lesson, I had discussed this, and I said that we don't use the verb reach with at. I cannot say that I reached at a place. I should say I reached this place at this time. I think that one is also very clear to all of us. Now, I move on to the other preposition, of, accused of, keyword of, one of, etc., etc. Last but not least, I also want to talk about other prepositions like above. Aeroplanes fly above the land. What is under your armpits? Under what circumstances may the teacher punish us? Under what circumstances? Are you really getting that? Yes. Thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. I will be sharing a screen shortly. Yes, like I had said, I'll be sharing a screen. And as you can see, we have a PowerPoint slide with the prepositions that we have been talking about. Are you getting that? Now we can read this together. Agree with a person, agree to a thing, suggestion, idea, or proposal. Agree with a person, angry at something. I repeat this, angry with a person, angry at something. Disappointed with a person, disappointed in something. Can you see that? Deal with a person or a situation. Deal in areas of work, textile, second-hand clothes, motor spares, etc., etc. I move on to the second one. In our second one, you can see the notes that are there. We have examples in sentence form. I agree with you. I agree to his idea, opinion, or proposal. He's angry with me. She was very angry at what you did to me. My father deals in motor spares, second-hand clothes, or textile. His mother was disappointed with him. I was disappointed in that matter. Let us move on to slide number 3. Prepositions continued. We have to abide by the rules. Can you refrain from that? She came to school by bus, but her sister came on foot, by air, by sea, by train, etc., etc. He came to school on a bus, on a train, in a van, in an ambulance. The report was written in ink. We were seated in the shade under a tree. The teacher is seated at his desk. The boat plunged into the sea. The Bible has been translated into many languages. Are you getting that? Yeah, I want to believe that actually you have understood this, and this is what I want you to do. Copy these notes in your exercise books, and then you're going to construct 2 sentences in each case using the prepositions that I have given. After that, you're going to take a smartphone, capture the work you've done, and then channel to us via our WhatsApp group. Thank you very much for lending me your ears. Hopefully that you have benefited a lot. Thank you. Continue working hard, stay safe, and may God bless you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.